All right, hey everybody, back with another news feed for you. Again, this one is going to be just a one-hitter here, not multiple articles like we normally do. Again, I'm fighting as hard as I can to get some videos made so that they're going to play while I'm gone for 25 straight days. While I'm off on a hunting trip, we got family coming in to hang at my house and be there, so they get a vacation, we get a vacation, and so it's going to be win-win, but I need some content running for that. So rather than do multiples, I got a couple smaller, shorter videos here for you. This one right here, from ABC News. Lower priced newer cars are gaining popularity, and not just for cash poor buyers. This is pretty interesting. It's got a lot of great stuff to unpack in here. Okay, it says right here, this lady that had this Michelle, anyway, she could buy whatever she wanted to, and she was replacing her Chevy Blazer that she had. She paid 40 grand for 3 years ago. She chose something smaller and less costly. She could have got whatever she wanted. She chose a Trax. Why? Because it's in that price range, and many people, it says right here, she joins a rising number of buyers who have made vehicles in the below average $20,000 to $30,000 range, the fastest growing segment in the nation of new auto market. Okay, I just don't need a big vehicle, she says, pay all that money and gas. And she says that she's a 56-year-old nurse, lives outside of Ohio near Cincinnati, so she can do whatever she wants to with it. But she doesn't need it, and that's becoming the norm. Across the industry, analysts say affordability shift is taking root. The trend is being led by people who feel they can no longer afford new vehicles that would cost them roughly today's average selling price of more than $47,000, a jump of 20% from pre-pandemic levels. Okay, we knew that. That's crazy. To buy a new car, the average buyer has to spend $737 a month. The average buyer, with a loan rate of 7.1 for just under 6 years, is the average for it to be paid off. This according to Edmunds. That's insane. We already knew this, but it is insane that it's like there. It says, yet there are other buyers like that Michelle that could manage the financial burden but have decided it's just not worth the cost. And the trend is forcing American automakers to reassess their sales and production strategies. With buyers confronting inflated prices, still high interest rates, sales of new U.S. autos rose only 1% through September over the same period last year. Okay, it's because they're trending towards lower priced vehicles. More generous discounts could lead to lower average auto prices and slow industry profits. It says here, consumers are becoming more prudent as they face economic uncertainty. Whole lot of volatility in the world right now. Still high interest rates are some, and and prices remain elevated. That's one of them. Not to mention the normal stuff every day in life that is there. Growth is happening that we would consider more affordable price buckets. Okay, that's what they're talking about for this year. The growth, the areas of growth are in models that is in more of the affordable price bucket. Lower priced vehicles. General Motors said it kept discounts in check and average vehicle prices steady around $49,000 from July through September this year. That produced $900 million pre-tax earnings gain from a year ago, but the company doesn't expect that in the fourth quarter. They're not going to have it happen. They're expecting it to drop. Okay, they're saying that right here. The fleet services are up 7% of that growth. 43% came in the $20,000 to $30,000 price range. This largest share from the price category in at least 4 years. Used vehicle, the shift is even more pronounced at 59% of sales growth in a $15,000 to $20,000 price range over that period. People are not spending money on cars no more. They don't care about big, flashy, inexpensive, and they're just done with it. They're over it. Their life is too important, and they cannot go car poor anymore. They cannot be broke on these things. Okay, it's getting unbelievable. Okay, right here, look. Sale of compact and subcompact cars and SUVs from mainstream auto brands are growing faster than in any year since 2018, according to Cox Automotive. Let the power of that sentence sink in for you. Let the reality of that sink in. Sales gain from affordable vehicles is in some ways a return to a pattern that existed before the pandemic. As recent as 2018, compact and subpact vehicles, typically among the most popular moderately priced vehicles, had accounted for nearly 35% of the sales. Okay, so you know it's huge. By 2022, the market share of compact subcompacts had dropped down to below 30%. This year, it's nearly 34% and rising. We're coming back to it. Sales of compact sedans were up 16.7%, over 12 months earlier in September. So this stuff is here. Ford F-Series truck remains the top-selling vehicle in the United States this year. No, it does not. It does not. Okay, the Silverado and the, if you can, I'm not even getting into it again, but no, take a look at the numbers for the Sierra and the Silverado. They blow the doors off of the Ford F-Series, but Ford just keeps saying that year after year, only because Silverado and Sierra are two different trucks, but they're the same exact truck. And Ford includes the F-150, the F-250, the F-350, and the F-450 in their so-called F-Series. So, but apparently Ford still says they remain the top-selling vehicle in the United States this year, as they have for like 40 years because of how they do it. Oh, it's been for nearly half a century, again, because of how they get to word it. But it says then Silverado followed in suit. Stellantis Ram pickup typically number 3. So you've always had for best sales, pickup truck sales have been huge forever. And it's always been, you had Ford, then you had the Chevy, and then you had Ram. Okay, that's how it always was. But Ram has dropped to 6th place, outpaced by several less expensive small SUVs. The Toyota RAV4 beats the Ram pickup. The Honda CR-V beats the Ram pickup. And the Tesla Model Y, with the $7,000, $7,500 tax credit, beat the Ram pickup. Pretty impressive. For the first time in many years, we have SUVs beating sales of pickup trucks. Very rare. The move in buyer sentiment towards affordability came fast in this year, catching many automakers off guard with too few vehicles available in the low price ranges. They thought they were going to keep making everybody pay top dollar for them, and it didn't work. It's just crazy, the reality of this kind of stuff. Okay, that many buyers who are willing to plunk down nearly $50,000 for a new car had already done so in the past few years. They're done with it. It's over. It's not there anymore. With loan rates still high, auto insurance prices up a whopping 38% in the past 2 years. The public just wants to be a little more frugal about it. They're done. They're not spending the money anymore. This shift has left some automakers overstocked with too many pricier trucks and SUVs. Some, like Stellantis, which makes Jeep, Chrysler, Wrangler, have warned that the shift will eat into their profitability this year. General Motors Chevy brand executives had foreseen the shift from uber expensive vehicles and were prepared with the redesigned Trax, which came out in the spring of 2023. Trax is amazing. Trax sales in the U.S. so far this year up 130%, making it the nation's top-selling subcompact SUV. We're basically doubling our Trax sales volume from last year. This is the world we live in. This is where people want to go. This is it. They're done spending money on these vehicles. The change is here. We've hit the peak. The peak is here. There's no getting over it. It will not go any higher. We have hit the ceiling, bumped our heads, bleeding, and now we got to start climbing back down. Automakers do. Okay, it's over. It's done. They don't have any chances anymore, any choices. As we see right here, the people have spoken. They're done. They're voting with their wallets. They're done. Automakers need to adjust, which is crazy because we see the shift in trucks going the other way. We see the shift in trucks going to keep the prices the same or raise them up. And most manufacturers are like cutting options, but keeping the price the same or raising it. Chevy actually raised their prices, but they gave you a ton of extra options in there. It's weird. The world is weird right now, but I do believe we just hit a ceiling. So anyway, your thoughts, put them down below. Thanks for watching.